Yeah.
Got the oats.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Welcome to the vlog. Today, I've kidnapped my roommate.
I'm having a fantastic time. I'm so glad.
And we're going to be discussing something very important to music history. Brahms. Was he gay or European?
Both.
So, we all know about the whole Brahms Schumann thing. Yes? No.
The Brahms Schumann
The Brahms Schumann thing.
What's with Brahms and Schumann?
So, back in the day.
Back in the day.
Say like the mid 1800s. The Schumanns are living their peaceful musical life. Clara and Robert.
They're married or siblings?
They're married, I think. And then Brahms comes along, and Brahms is he's like 14 years younger than Clara. So at the time they all met, he was 20. He comes in, and he's also musical, obviously. We're playing his Requiem. Yes. And Robert takes him in as like his little kid he's gonna mentor. Yeah. And at one point he even claimed like, this guy is the next Beethoven. And so Robert's descending into madness due to syphilis.
Syphilis is a sex disease.
Yeah. Eventually gets so bad that they have to send him to an institution. So Robert's away, but at this point Brahms had moved in with the Schumanns. And they were roommates. They were roommates. And he was kind of helping care for Robert before they sent him to this institution. He was like a big emotional support for Clara. But he continued to hang around when Robert was admitted. And he'd like go visit him and stuff, like they were all good friends. While Robert's in this institution, there were, letters between Clara and Brahms, some of which were never actually delivered. They were just, found somewhere in history. And from Brahms' point of view, like his letters, it kind of looks like he was in love with her. And
I would be too, honestly.
And then same kind of with Clara. And then after Robert dies in 1856, Brahms kind of just left, and he was going on with his career. He moved out, which was really odd. And in one of Clara's letters, or in her diary, I believe, she wrote it was like returning from a funeral when she was, going to see Brahms off.
Oh.
And so it seems like Robert was the one keeping Brahms there, not Clara, though he was a big part of her life. And mind you, they had like 7 kids, and they were all running around. There was even a point where I think either the oldest or one of the oldest, her name's Julie or Julia, might have had a thing with Brahms. We don't know. No one knows.
Mother and daughter?
Yeah.
Also, where's the gay part in that story? Okay. European or gay?
It's like, there's some speculation, because both the Schumanns really loved this guy, and
they were poly.
That is something that is speculated. And there is some, I'm saying speculation a lot, there's some speculation that perhaps Robert was bisexual.
Who isn't, though?
Me? There's more, because after all this, the Schumann's kids start having kids. There's, their grandchildren.
The Schumann's kids?
The Schumann's kids.
Okay.
And there's this one guy, I believe it's, oh god, I forgot his name, Ferdinand Schumann. And he kept a diary. He wrote about going and doing stuff with his grandmother, Clara, and then Brahms would pop up a lot still. And they were just really good friends. But I read through this excerpt, like this part of the diary, and there were a couple of names that also popped up a lot, and they were Joseph Joachim, a violinist, and then there was also a clarinetist by the name of Richard Muhlfeld, that Brahms coaxed out of retirement to play with him, and these 2 men were like his muses.
That's pretty gay.
That is pretty gay. Which is why I have to ask the question: gay or just European?
Everyone's a little gay. Everybody's gay. Okay. Especially then.
Okay.
They were roommates interested in being there because he wanted to be with Robert. Which is probably why he died in Bachelor, because my theory, in my head, he loved Robert. Robert was like his one, you know? And of course there's been other muses, but none of them are Robert. Which is probably why he left after he died, because he didn't want to be in the same spot. Like, he didn't want to be in a home that was, you know, Robert's. Maybe.
That makes sense.
And he probably didn't want to raise kids. He was young.
Otherwise,
Maybe it was like Freddie Mercury and what was it? He only ever loved one girl, and he loved her so much, but like they were soulmates, but he didn't, you know, what's the word? He liked men. He preferred men. It's kind of like that. So I can love Robert, and Robert loved Clara, and Clara loved Brahms, but Clara might have also loved Brahms. Brahms kind of just like ignored Clara.
Though he was really clear that both of them just very loved information shared. So Clara and Robert were still very attentive to each other. They kept a shared diary that they would switch off like every Sunday morning. They would give it back to the other
in 1839.
or maybe about something the other did that they admired.
A shared diary? That's really
We're here at the duck pond. I read some of that. Yeah.